Hey, what's up? I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I wanted to make this video for quite some time. Now, keep in mind, these are my own experiences, my own thoughts, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a diagnosed professional or anything like that, so take it as it is from that angle. But anyway, I'm guessing this video is sort of a continuation on a video I made a while back, because at least when I started thinking about it more, I guess the whole thing that I'm going to talk about is just an extension of, let's say, my lack of empathy. Or, I don't know, I don't want to say lack of empathy, at least like weakened empathy, quote unquote. Or fine, maybe it is a lack of empathy because I don't think I experience it in the same way as like regular people do. I think what I more so have is cognitive empathy. Oh, and speaking of that like older video I've made, I didn't watch it before I decided to make this video, so I guess I just apologize if everything I say in this video is like more or less the same as that video. But anyway, what I thought about was accountability. And here's the thing, I never really liked apologizing. I mean, I guess that's not hard for a lot of people to like anticipate when when they know when they know that somebody's a narcissist, because I guess, well, apologizing as somebody that deals with narcissism is, I guess, lowering yourself from somebody, or at least that's how I interpret it, because that's me literally saying that, okay, I did something wrong to you, so therefore I want to apologize. And it's like, now you have to grant me like my shame away or something like that for like something wrong that I like supposedly did. And I already have shame towards myself like 24/7. So maybe this is why I get kind of like pissed at the fact that like people, let's say, expect apologies when they think that like I've wronged them, because I don't think any amount of apologizing I would ever do, or even somebody telling me that like, oh, they forgive me, would remove this hatred within myself that I feel every now and then. Because, if you've watched a lot of my videos, I've like explained here and there about how the fluctuation of my self-esteem, because it's not clearly defined in terms of like feeling like I'm on cloud nine and I'm the best, or I'm just the worst and I absolutely like loathe myself and like hate myself. I don't know what an apology could actually do for me in a lot of cases, because I know I'm supposed to think that like if I do apologize to somebody, I'm making like more efforts to be a good person. But I think all that it does is that it annoys the arrogant part of myself that's like, oh, why would you even apologize to somebody? Like, you're already the greatest. And, all these people, they're worthless. They're fucking, they're losers or something. If you could crush them, if you could hurt their feelings, then, like, they fucking deserve it because, they're weaklings and whatnot. I have, one part of myself saying that to me, just, like, it's like I belittle myself if I were to think that like, okay, yeah, I should apologize to so and so because what I did was wrong. But then there's another part of me, kind of like what I explained, that like, just hates myself so much, and I guess feels that like, okay, maybe I should be apologizing to everybody. I should be apologizing to like anybody I encounter, because how can somebody like me, because like I guess I have these like unrealistic standards towards myself when I'm in this like particular moment, because I know I can't be the perfect human that I wish and that, desire to like be, let's say, I feel like I might as well, apologize. So it's like there's a constant battle, because if I say I'm sorry, then the arrogant part of myself is gonna, self-loathe with it. But if I say that I'm sorry and thinking that I'm, doing a good thing because I hate myself so much, I'm just going to hold on to it as a fact that like, oh, see, I had to apologize. This is why I suck. This is why I'm the worst, blah, 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 yada, 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 and like all that kind of stuff. And it's like either way, it just crushes me inside, because I can't be this like perfect person that I just, wish that I was. And I hate that I'm perhaps giving like power to other people. At least like that's, what it feels like. And I think I've realized that I kind of have a hard time self-reflecting, because I've said a lot of times that like, I die every single day. So when I think about myself from like past memories or something, it's kind of hard for me to jumble how I really felt in that moment versus what I'm thinking of it now in like retrospect, because my like self identity is like so disjointed and like not there to the point where I have no idea where to go in terms of like, I don't know if it's just like let's say like identity or like my progress in terms of like what I think of myself as like a human, because I think every single time I try to do that it feels like I'm starting at like square one and nothing's really real. And I think this is why often in a lot of cases it's easy for me to detach in moments where like I'm being called out or something, because like if we're not talking about the bits where okay I don't feel apologetic because oh I feel like I'm better than you, you know, I'm just like, you know, I'm fighting back, I'm, I don't know, let's just say we're arguing or something like that, and I'm not gonna like own up to anything. Even when I don't have that like energy in me, I think yes, this is what I mean, that perhaps it's just like an extension again towards the lack of empathy, you could say, is because I always feel like I'm performing like 24/7. There is no like real personhood to myself. So it kind of feels like when I'm, you know, getting called out for something and I'm talking to somebody and they're giving me criticisms or like whatever, it's like, you know, yeah, if I'm not feeling cocky and arrogant about it, or if I'm not like wanting to just like pour salt in their wound, it's like I kind of just detach. It's like I'm seeing somebody, obviously. I'm like hearing their words, but it's not really like registering. I don't know if it's a way to perhaps like block out like this like shame that I feel, but I think like often in a lot of moments like this, it shows how like disjointed and how like, you know, broken in pieces my like identity of like self actually is. Because when, I don't know, like if in cases where somebody expects me to be remorseful, be this, be that, or like I don't know, like I don't know what reaction to give them. And if I am going to give them some sort of like reaction, it probably is, you know, just going to be like some sort of like arrogance or like superiority. But it's like I don't know how to, let's just say, I guess like give something authentic, because everything here is blank and it's empty. And if somebody's going on a tirade about like why they don't like you or why they don't like, you know, a certain thing that you did, it's just weird, because if you already operate in terms of having like no identity, you're trying to piece to yourself who you're supposed to be, whereas there's another person saying like all these negative things about you or like whatever. And I guess, you know, if you're like ridden with shame, you don't want to like deal with that, so you kind of try to just like block it. But then you just, I don't know, are just like stuck in this like okay where actually are you and like what's, you know, going on. So accountability is, I don't know, an interesting I guess conversation to be had, because like at least for me, this is how I'm able to piece it for this like video. And I'm sure, yeah, a lot of it is coming from like a, you know, lack of empathy, quote unquote. But I guess I kind of want to go more so into the pathology specifically, because I know with like all the stuff that like you see online, a lot of people are just going to be like, oh yeah, obviously narcissists don't care about you because they just want to destroy you, they just want to do this, they just want to like do that. I don't know what it is truly, because maybe like in certain situations, yeah, I can feel that way because I prioritize my safety in terms of like conflict, because it, despite not really having an identity, it always feels like I'm the only person that like I can rely on, because despite there being no one there, I'm the only person that I spend time with 24/7. Like everything else is like outward appearances. My relation to other people and humanity always feels like it's nothing other than like outward appearances. So I guess you can kind of see where like this struggle would come if I'm able to like explain this more or less. But yeah, I don't know. There's some words right there.